There's a stat by Forrester that says that retailers miss out on 10% extra revenue. Basically, they leave 10% revenue on the table, which means that they go somewhere else to buy the extra things like Amazon, because everyone finds it so convenient. We're helping that retailer take that 10%.
AI bundling. They're doing AI bundling. It's interesting.
What's AI bundling?
Oh, well, I guess it's when you're shopping something online and you are in the basket and it's the last stage of the shopping experience, I guess, and it recommends other products through AI. So it increases the purchase rate of the customer and builds revenue for the business. Well, we'll go and visit them and they'll tell us more about it, I guess. So today we're at this new episode of Startups of London at the office of Increasingly. Thanks for inviting us to your office.
You're really welcome. Great to meet you.
I'm really curious to understand both your experience about the business and where the business sits in terms of product market fit and its growth in finance, in people side of the things. So we'll get on to that. But before, let's get to know you a bit. Can you tell us about yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So my name's Shri. I'm CEO and co-founder of Increasingly. This isn't my first business. I've had a corporate background, but then I left that many years ago and I founded two businesses in the space of digital marketing technology. I exited those businesses, was fortunate to win a scholarship to study machine learning and futuristic technology at the NASA Ames Research Center in Silicon Valley. And then an insight I had was around the opportunity to help retailers grow basket revenue and conversion rate using machine learning, which is an area that I've been fascinated by for a long time. And then we had this idea and we started exploring it, testing it, and then it evolved into a business, which today is Increasingly. We have approximately 40 people in the business now. We've got circa 60 clients, many clients that you'll have heard of, from Samsung to HP to Lovehoney to Travis Perkins, lots of different clients here and internationally. And it's a really exciting place, and genuinely it's been a phenomenally exciting journey, because sometimes it's scary and sometimes it's all highs. But the creativity opportunity and the opportunity to make impact and take nothing and make it into something is something that I really get such a kick from.
So this is something I'm personally curious about as another entrepreneur who like the biggest job of an entrepreneur is to try to understand the market. If you're doing that wrong, like you can do everything else right, and it won't work out in your favor anyway.
Yeah.
So understanding the London startup ecosystem is one of the core reasons of why we do Startups of London as well, right? So can you talk a bit about how, in your observation, the Silicon Valley vibe and environment is different than your experience in London?
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest, it's about scale and it's about self-belief, and I think it's about willingness to take risk. So over there, if you have an idea...
Self-belief, scale and risk appetite. Yeah.
Yes. So the scale opportunity is there that people will write really big checks. Over here, there'll be a lot more trepidation to write a big check. Then the self-belief and risk come hand in hand. Individuals who've got a big idea, they will really go for it and put everything on the line, and they're willing to fail. Over here, there is still a perception that, we like to say now, slowly the mindset's changing. We like to say it's okay to fail, but there's still a little bit of programming which says it's not okay to fail. Over there, it's very fundamentally okay to fail. It's not going to be held against you. People will actually celebrate your failure.
Yes.
And then with that, you also get the self-belief, which is, why not me? It's okay to fail, and why not me? Why can't I go big? And I think over here, the mindset is still a little bit rarer to find the person who go, why not me? To the big extent.
That's very valuable insight, honestly. Thanks for that. Let's focus back on the business. Can you describe your core value to the customers and the users of Increasingly?
Sure. So we've got two customers, really. One is the end customer. So we sell to retailers. And retailers use our technology to help themselves, as retailers, grow their revenue per customer. So the end customer is really the fundamental target audience. And what Increasingly does is we serve collections, looks, otherwise in technical speak called bundles, on the retailer's website. What this does is it helps a customer find everything they need to complete their, let's say, project, if it's DIY, regime, if it's beauty. So it's a real value add in terms of convenience.
I see. I now get it. I now have a better understanding of it, yeah.
Yeah, and quite honestly, this isn't something that we invented out of nowhere. We observed that Amazon do this, and I'm sure you've seen it on every single page on Amazon where you see something that says, why don't you buy these 2 or 3 items together in one click?
Yep.
Amazon does that, and it drives some 14 billion extra in revenue per year because they're so big. But they use machine learning to scale this. We took that concept and we made it available for the 95% of retailers who don't do it. There's a stat by Forrester that says that retailers miss out on 10% extra revenue. Basically, they leave 10% revenue on the table, which means that they go somewhere else to buy the extra things like Amazon, because everyone finds it so convenient. We're helping that retailer take that 10%. And typically, we're helping the retailer grow site revenue up to 15%. I mean, we're talking 15% incremental revenue. So if you're like a $100 million business, we're talking 15 million, which is huge. And that's why we've been breaking through, because the algorithms work and it adds massive value.
Did you receive any investment to date?
So yeah, we did one round, which was one small VC and also friends and family. So we raised 400,000 to date, and now we've got to a place where we're profitable. And before we do another round, we've got the means to grow our sales capacity and somewhat our technical capacity. So before we do another round,
that's a good place to be in.
It's a great place, and we're very fortunate, and we're hugely fortunate personally to the team because they've been very loyal, and also to our customers.
Can you talk about the people growth side of things, especially do you have any co-founders, first people who have joined the business, and how long they've been working with the business? I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, sure. So I have a co-founder, and so we've worked very much together. He is focused on the product side, and he brought with him 2 individuals, the VP of algorithms and our CTO, people that he's worked with before. And that's been really, really phenomenal for us, because instantly we had a core team. Having that core team was really fundamental, because I've got a technical background too, so I brought that expertise, but I also brought my experience working with retailers from my past businesses, and I brought network. Slowly we built out the technical team, and we just relied on myself predominantly for selling. And then now we've built out so that we have a director of customer success, because we've got over 50, 60 clients now. And also we've brought on our first sales director, and we're bringing on a second sales director and a partnerships manager as well, starting at the start of next year.
Cool. I'm Will. I'm sales director here at Increasingly. It's a fabulous place to work, and I've been here for a little while. I've been here since March last year, so 2018, and it's hugely exciting because I've seen the business grow. So we're going to be at 100k plus MRR this month.
How big was it when you joined in?
I think it was probably only about 10 to 15. So
100% increase. That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And it's been quite a journey.
So what were some of the challenges that you've experienced with this?
So we had a slight capacity challenge in that we brought in a load of business, and the other parts of the business weren't potentially quite ready for it, so we had to sort of manage that through. That's all been
That's
resolved.
a good problem to have.
It's a very, very good problem to have, and very rare for startups. It's normally the other way around. You have everything ready and not enough clients. So that was, and we got through that brilliantly. There was a team that was put together to resolve that issue. So that's one of the challenges. But yeah, aside from that, it's been great, and I think what's what's good is the simplicity of the product, and for me, customers love it and our clients love it.
So I'm Alistair. I am customer success director. From Increasingly. So I've been about 5 months in the role now.
Okay.
So relatively newbie compared to Will here. So I essentially, when clients are onboarded, and Sri and Will have, I've got the clients to sign up to Increasingly and use our technology. I'm very much sort of part of the implementation process, and then obviously when they're on board, making sure that they're happy, their performance is great, and they're satisfied customers.
Like I always mention, this is an under-discussed and undervalued topic, but a lot of businesses rely on other tools. So what are some of the building blocks, especially in terms of communication, coordination, productivity, that you use on a daily basis?
So we use, it's quite a few actually we use, to be honest. So Slack we use a lot as being like a place where everything's centralised and a lot of messages can be passed between in speed, particularly because we've obviously got people in India and Lisbon as well, in Portugal. We also use things like Google Sheets, of course, having everything in the cloud in that respect. We use Trello, so sort of a workflow thing, particularly around when we're designing new things for clients or improving current designs. And then also as well, we started looking at things like Airtable, so almost like a much more evolved version of a spreadsheet kind of common format, so you can drop things in and out very easily, have different formatting for it. So we're trying to use a lot of these technologies in different ways, but we very much have a good idea about what they provide to the business. So.
Thanks for this chat. I mean, I wish you all the best with this new endeavor.
Thank you.
It's not been too long for both of you, but I think this is we were talking about the same thing with Shri. This is a very good time to join in a company. It knows what it's doing. There's certain product market fit, and all it can do is grow now. And I think it will be fit with your help as well. So thanks for being a part.
Thank you very much for having us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So what are your values?
We actually, interestingly, we've moved from values to behaviours, and I'll tell you the difference. Values are a little bit more conceptual. So, for example, dare to lead as a value, and we've moved to more literal values because we found that in India they wanted it to be more specific so that they can go, yes, I did it. So we have behaviours like delivered on time, delighted the customer, because you can really go, yeah, I did that. It's not broad conceptual.
What are some things that you wish you had known before you started this journey?
So a really good one that I've learnt along my way has been the importance of seeing rapport as a different layer of communication to getting the work done.
Okay.
So what do I mean? Getting the work done is very transactional. It's like if I did the work, big thumbs up, you've done it. 0, 1, done. Rapport lives separately, and you've got to really work to maintain that rapport. It's an undercurrent, and it means that even when things aren't working, the transactional layer isn't working, you still can fall back on something because you know, as you said, that person's got your back. So that's a really powerful one. It's like a credit score. Exactly. And I've just learnt over time, because I'm more of a technical person and I'm more analytical, I've learnt that actually I need to really work over time on my rapport building. Another great learning is self-belief. Like almost saying, why not me? The daily effort to do high quality living, work, whatever, every day is underestimated phenomenally. And what does that mean? It means even the little things like reminding yourself of your vision, reminding yourself of your life vision, reminding yourself of why you're great. These are small things that you can do every day, but they build up to being a really big, powerful thing.
It's tremendously important.
And I think it's great when someone like that, like Ray Dalio, says it, because everyone stops and goes, maybe these little things are actually really important, you know? It's not just about the big things. I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins. I'm a fan of philosophy, Eastern philosophy as well as Western philosophy, and I think he's one of the world's best practical psychologists, and he is a complete fan of daily affirmations. In fact, he recommends that you start your day with affirmations, and I try every day to remind myself of who I want to be every day.
So motivation is not an infinite well, but you have to fill up.
You have to keep reminding yourself of it. Yeah, I definitely think so. You know, especially as a leader, if you're the founder or co-founder or a leader in the business, you really need to think about those things, because especially in a small business, your state, how you are, has a profound impact on everyone else's.
And how do you refill
the motivation well of the company?
Yeah, well, I think for example, if I, just to kind of give the opposite, if I walked in every day and I was like, hey, get on with work, and I was like this, how am I encouraging them to be their best? I have to set an example. How can I give myself the energy to do that? That's where, for example, affirmations come in.
So what are some future milestones of the business?
That's a really good one. So obviously they're financial milestones. So by the end of next year we want to get to a certain point of monthly recurring revenue, which gives us more options around scaling. We want to have grown the UK sales team, which is already happening. We want to have doubled the capacity in the technology team because we've got new products to build. So I really want to, our core platform and our core product, I want that to be entirely systemized by 1 year from now, and I want to be well on to developing our next products, and for that you need more technical capacity, and we need to be more effective as a team to do that. So working on the planning to be effective and also hiring to be able to do that. And so the year ahead is about selling more, systematizing what we have, and then starting the journey on the next product.
So internal and external growth side by side in a way. For people listening in and thinking about potentially joining in the company, what's your message to them? What do you think they should know about the business? What types of role are you looking for?
In London is primarily going to be where we have our customer success and also our sales capacity and marketing capacity. So in the future we will have roles in terms of marketing manager. We'll also have more sales directors and partnership manager roles primarily, and we'll also have some customer success roles. So in London those are going to be the roles. And I think the reason to join is because it's a fantastic time to join the company, because we're getting to the end of being a pure startup where we're getting product market fit, and we're actually moving into the land of being a scale-up. I think everyone's phenomenally interested in learning and growth, and I think working closely with a small team that are really hyper-focused on achieving greatness is really powerful for their learning. So I think they'll get all of that by working in a company like us. Plus, myself and my co-founder, this isn't our first gig. We've done this before. So we come with the good fortune of having learned lessons from the past. And so we can accelerate their learning as well.
I agree with that 100%. It's just that key point in the graph where if you join in the business, there are some risks, but those risks are understandable, well calculated, less uncertainty about the business, but there's still huge potential to grow. So for the people who are listening, and I think Increasingly is a good company.
Thanks so much.
Other than that, I think this has been a very fruitful conversation, and thank you for taking time, Shiri.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, that turned out great. It was a pleasure to meet Shiri and with the rest of the team. They work at quite. This is called the Hop Exchange. So it's one of the most unique experiences one of the most unique places I've seen a startup work at. And what they do is quite valuable as well. I hope you have enjoyed this one, and feel free to check out other videos and subscribe to the channel if you like this content. See you later.